Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. Well, we got a couple of bits of little horror tidbits today, which I think is absolutely amazing. So we're going to jump straight into it. So, first thing we're going to be looking at is that Hulu's Hellraiser has been rated R for some very Hellraiser things, including strong bloody horror violence and gore, language throughout, some of this content, and brief graphic this. So it's basically almost like exactly the same as the original, because this is what the original was rated for as well, for the graphic this and the strong bloody horror violence. Hopefully the film goes well. I have said, I am looking forward to this, mostly because of the people involved, which is the director and the writer. So David Bruckner, who helmed Netflix The Ritual and The Night House, which is one of my favorite horror films of the last couple of years. He is directing the relaunch of Hellraiser for Spyglass. Obviously, I've also talked about that David Goyer is involved in it as well. And also, the Hulu feature film is written by Ben Collins and Luke Piotrowski. I would say that right. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. That is coming to us from Bloody Disgusting. So I am hoping that the film is good. I really do want it to do well. I love Hellraiser. It's my second favorite horror franchise because it's just so unique. There's so many great things about this franchise where they kind of touched upon things going through it, in like Hellraiser 3 when it actually went stateside properly, and had all the different kind of people. Obviously, you had the nightclub scene and all this kind of stuff, which it took it out of, obviously, the first two films, which was the sanitarium and the house, coming from there going into basically worldwide. Then, obviously, they went to space. Then there was Hellworld, the video game version. There was so much of it, which they were good ideas, but they were executed very, very poorly. Now, I really do want this to be good, so I am looking forward to this. I will be watching it, obviously, and I will be giving my review on it. Now, we're going to jump into another thing now as well, which, again, Saw is, at this moment in time, at 9 films. That's going like the Fast and Furious level thing, Paranormal Activity, they've done 7. And with Saw, the first couple were amazing. I really did enjoy the first 3. The first 3 were good. It finished the entire story, and it basically, Jigsaw was gone, John Kramer, and it's like, yeah, no one else now, or no one's around, that's it. But then obviously they brought in Detective Hoffman, and they just kind of went from there. Obviously, they tried doing different things, and each Saw movie it didn't really add anything to the mythology. Oh, okay, maybe you had Dr. Hoffman, and you had the Doctor from the very first one. It's just like, come on now. It kind of got a little bit ridiculous. But one of the things that is coming out now is that, again, this is coming from Bloody Disgusting, and Darren Bosman's reboot of Spiral from a book I saw last year pulled in $40 million worldwide, reviving the franchise and paving the way for more sequels. Another brand new Saw movie is indeed in the works, with Bloody Disgusting exclusively learning that Kevin Greutert will be directing the next installment, and it's set for release on October 27th, 2023. So around the same time as the brand new Exorcist movie is coming out. So it's kind of interesting to see, kind of like an ancient old IP in The Exorcist, which is, in the 70s now, it's coming up on 40 odd. Well, yeah, this is 40 odd years next year. And then obviously you got Saw 10, which first started in the year 2004. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes forward. But going from there onwards, we do have another thing. Kevin, he has done the other ones. As it says by here, franchise producers Mark Berg and Oren Kuhl said, "We have been listening to what the fans have been asking for and are hard at work at planning a movie that Saw aficionados and horror fans alike will love. Part of that is giving the reins to Kevin Greutert, director of Saw 6 and Saw 7, don't forget the 3D version, which is still one of the fans' favourite in the entire series, More details will be revealed soon." I wonder if they're going to continue with Chris Rock's character as the police officer going forward with that, because he did get away, remember, the killer from the last one. This is what I say, Spiral wasn't exactly that good. I can't remember the names of the characters, so that just shows to me anyway that it's just like, well, is it really that good because I can't remember the names, or was it just that forgetful? But obviously, given the reins back to Kevin, he was the editor on Saws 1 to 5, directed, Saws 1 to 5 and 8. Those are the ones he edited. Saw 6 and Saw 7, he was the director of them. But I want to know who they're going to bring back to write it. Are they going to bring back Leigh Whannell? You never know. Obviously, Leigh Whannell, James Wan, they got they're up to their eyes in it now. Obviously, Leigh Whannell coming off the huge success of The Invisible Man, which was the best film of 2020, if you ask me. One of the best films of the last couple of decades as well, because it was just so good for a horror film. But moving forward, is the Saw franchise really, really need number 10? To be honest with you, I don't think it needs to be done. Just let it die now. Just literally let it bleed out. Let it go. Don't bring any more. It's a bit like the Paranormal Activity movies. Just let them go. Bringing one out every year. Fair enough. At the time, it may have been done because of the effect of horror at that time when you had Hostel. Obviously, you had the Saw films, the Paranormal Activity ones. You had Rob Zombie's, The Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses. All these films, which they named the Splat Pack for the directors. And Saw really does not need any more movies. But with that, though, we are going to move on to our last topic of the video, which is the Black Phone. Now, the Black Phone, in my eyes, is one of the most disturbing horror films that I've seen in the last couple of years. Mostly because I have a niece around the age of Finn, and I was just like, oh my god, this could actually happen. Just because of the way that, the way that he does it, the way that he just grabs him and everything else. But this film, to me, is genuinely one of the best horror films. It's just so well done. And again, Scott Derrickson, he is a master at drawing out the tension. When you think something's going to happen, nothing does, but then it does, But this is what we got. So there's already lots of conversation, a lot of pressure being put on it. I mean, the movie cost $18 million and is going to ultimately make probably 160 to 170 million worldwide. So they want another one. Of course they do. This is Scott Derrickson, the director, confirmed with comicbook.com about talks of continuing the franchise. Joe Hill did pitch me a wonderful idea for a sequel to The Black Phone that if this movie does well, I'm going to do it. He's got a great idea. I really liked it. Joe's very protective and personal about his material, but he came to me with the idea and I was like, that's how you do a sequel to Black Phone. That's terrific. Now, Joe Hill is the original author of The Black Phone, which started out as a short story. But now, if he's come up with an idea, and Scott Derrickson, if he thinks this is how you do a sequel to this movie, I'm all in. I am all for it. Again, I'm not too sure how they would bring it back, because, spoiler alert, if you have seen the film, he does die. Finn survives and everything else. His sister's there, she's got a bit of a clairvoyance going on. But he does die. So it's going to be interesting to see if they bring back his character. Or, for all we know, he may be in the Black Phone himself. He may be with all the other ones, all the other children that has gone and the ones he got rid of. But it's just such a great, great movie. And Ethan Hawke in this film is just... mwah. He's just magnificent. And to be honest with you, he is scary as fuck. Again, Ethan Hawke doesn't normally play these kind of characters. That's probably why he's so good at it. But, that's what they say regarding certain actors. All you gotta look at is comedians. Everyone just thinks, comedians can only do funny. When you give a comedian a really juicy role, they can turn it on and it can be really like, oh my god, that is terrifying. Obviously, I'm going to be bringing up Robin Williams with this, with Insomnia, 1 Hour Photo. It's just, the guy was just a legend. That's what you do. If you want to do something, you get a character who's never done that sort of role before, and you see what they do. Heath Ledger with the Joker, for example. Joaquin Phoenix with the Joker again. There's so many things. It would just be amazing to see how Scott Derrickson brings the Black Phone 2, even if they are making a Black Phone 2, that is, even if they do greenlight it, which they probably will because of Blumhouse, but I'm all for that. So This is what we got, guys. R rating for the brand new Hellraiser reboot on Hulu, which I am looking forward to. Saw 10, which I'm not, because it's like, come on, just let that franchise go now. And the Black Phone 2, they're talking about it, and I really do hope they do it. So if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates and stay up to date with the channel. And I'll see each and every one of you soon.